The gravel crunches under Father Marcus's worn boots as he approaches the Church of Hollow's End. The building looms against the twilight sky, its stone facade pitted and stained with age. He pulls out his phone, squinting at the screen. No signal, of course. Perfect, he mutters, pocketing it. Inside, the air is thick with dust and the smell of old wood. Marcus walks down the center aisle, his footsteps echoing in the cavernous space. Empty pews stretch before him like the ribs of some great dead beast. He enters the sacristy, a small room behind the altar. Cobwebs hang in the corners. On a wooden table sits an ornate hymnal, its leather cover embossed with patterns that seem to shift in the dim light. Marcus picks it up, thumbing through the yellowed pages. His eyes narrow as he reads the titles aloud. Hymn to the Keeper of Locked Doors, Aria for the Thirsty Earth, Vespers of the Worm Beneath. He lets out a dry laugh. What kind of parish was this? His finger traces a line of text on one page, and he reads it aloud without thinking. In darkness we gather, in silence we feed, the sleeping one stirs not, if we sing as decreed. The moment the words leave his lips, every candle in the church ignites at once. The flames leap high, then gutter violently, casting wild shadows across the walls. Marcus drops the hymnal with a sharp intake of breath. The flames settle. The church falls silent again. Marcus backs toward the door, his heart hammering. Just old wiring, he whispers to himself. Just old wiring. That first night, Marcus lies awake in the rectory bed, staring at the ceiling. The old house creaks and settles around him. At exactly 3:03 in the morning, a new sound joins the symphony of groans and whispers. The unmistakable creak of wooden pews. Someone is in the church. Marcus sits up, listening. More creaks, the sound of weight shifting, many people moving in unison. He grabs his flashlight and crosses the overgrown yard to the church. The front doors are unlocked, just as he left them. He pushes inside. The beam of his flashlight sweeps across empty pews. Nothing, no one. But the air feels different, warmer, as if the space has only just been vacated. On the second night, Marcus waits. He sits in the back pew at 2:30 in the morning, lights off, watching. At 3:03, the doors open. They file in silently. Men, women, even children. They wear simple clothes, dated styles from decades past. Their movements are synchronized, eerie. As they pass through the moonlight streaming from the high windows, Marcus sees their faces. Or rather, where their faces should be. Their features are there, but blurred, smudged like wet paint dragged by a careless hand. Eyes that don't quite focus, mouths that don't quite open. They fill the pews. They sit. They turn their ruined faces toward the altar. And they wait. Marcus's flashlight slips from his trembling hand, clattering to the floor. The sound echoes like a gunshot. Every head turns toward him at once. He runs, out the door across the yard into the rectory. He slams the door and locks it, pressing his back against the wood, breathing in ragged gasps. The next morning, Marcus tears through the rectory's study. Boxes of papers, ledgers, photographs. He finds a leather journal tucked behind a loose board in the closet. The handwriting inside is neat, precise. He reads by the weak morning light. I am not a priest. I never was. I am a choir master. The entity beneath Hollow's End must be fed, not with blood or flesh, but with structure, with ritual, with worship shaped in very specific forms. The hymnal contains the liturgy it demands. Each night, at the hour of its deepest sleep, the song must be sung. If the melody falters, if the rhythm breaks, if even one night passes in silence, it will wake. And when it wakes, it takes what it's owed. The previous choir master learned this too late. I found what was left of the village buried in the church cellar. 27 bodies, their mouths full of earth. Marcus's hands shake as he turns the page. The shadow congregation is not human. They are echoes, impressions left by those who worshipped here before the pact. They remember the ritual even in death. They will come. They will wait. They will expect the song. The final entry is dated 3 weeks ago. I am dying, cancer. My voice fails. Tonight will be my last service. Whoever comes after me, God forgive them. Or perhaps God has nothing to do with this place anymore. Marcus doesn't perform the ritual that night. He won't. He can't. He's a priest, or at least he was supposed to be, before the doubt crept in, before faith became just another word for self-delusion. But this isn't faith. This is something older, darker. He stays in the rectory, doors locked, windows shuttered. The next morning, he ventures into the village proper. A handful of houses still stand occupied. He knocks on doors. An old woman answers. Her eyes are glassy, unfocused. She stares through him. "Ma'am, are you all right?" She doesn't respond. Behind her, he can see an old man sitting at a kitchen table, motionless. A younger woman stands by the sink, staring at the wall. Catatonic, all of them. Marcus visits every house. The same. Every living person in Hollow's End has become a hollow shell. That evening, as the sun sets, he sees them through the rectory window. The shadow congregation, standing in the mist at the edge of the churchyard, dozens of them, hundreds perhaps, all facing the rectory, all waiting. Marcus returns to the journal, frantic now. He reads the entries again and again until one passage makes him stop cold. If the song stops, the sleeper in the stones will wake. It will take the village into the earth, not as punishment, as incorporation. The living and the dead alike pulled down into its endless dream of stone and root. At 2:45 in the morning, Marcus stands before the mirror in his bedroom. His face is gaunt, his eyes sunken. He looks like a man condemned. Perhaps he is. He picks up the hymnal and walks to the church. The shadow congregation parts as he approaches, creating a path to the doors. They don't look at him. They simply move aside, patient as stone. Inside, they fill the pews behind him, silent, expectant. Marcus climbs to the pulpit. The hymnal lies open before him. The pages seem to glow faintly in the candlelight. At exactly 3:03, he begins. But he doesn't sing the words written on the page. He starts with the melody, the strange, discordant tune that makes his teeth ache. But over it, he weaves words of scripture, the Psalms, the Lord's Prayer, every scrap of half-remembered liturgy from his seminary days. He's fighting fire with fire, darkness with light. The congregation begins to writhe. A low moan rises from the pews, building to a shriek of dissonance. The candles flicker wildly. The very stones of the church begin to weep. Black oil seeps from the cracks in the walls, dripping down in thick rivulets. Marcus's voice grows louder, more desperate. He's not singing to the demon. He's singing against it, imposing order, imposing meaning, twisting the ritual into something it was never meant to be. The shrieking reaches a fever pitch. Then, all at once, silence. Marcus's voice dies in his throat. The candles burn steady once more. The shadow congregation sits motionless in the pews, heads bowed. Through the high windows, the first light of dawn creeps in. When Marcus stumbles out of the church, the sun is fully risen. The mist has burned away. The shadow congregation is gone. He walks through the village again, knocks on doors. The old woman answers, blinking in confusion. "Father, when did you arrive?" Behind her, the old man is making coffee. The younger woman is setting the table. They remember nothing. The catatonia has lifted. Marcus returns to the rectory and collapses into bed. He sleeps for 14 hours straight, dreamless and deep. When he wakes, it's evening again. He walks to the church to lock the doors for the night. But they're already open. Inside, the hymnal lies on the pulpit. Open to a page Marcus doesn't recognize, the ink looks fresh, still damp. The title reads, Father Marcus's Processional. His blood runs cold. He hears a sound behind him and spins around. Nothing. The church is empty. But when he walks to the door and looks out across the churchyard, he sees it. At the very edge of the woods, a single figure, tall, silent. Its face is smudged like all the others. In its hands, it holds a candle. The flame burns black. It doesn't move. It simply stands there waiting. Marcus realizes with creeping horror what has happened. The ritual didn't reject him. It accepted him, but on its own terms. He is no longer just a priest who lost his faith. He is the new choirmaster of Hollow's End. And every night at 3:03, the congregation will return. And he will sing. Not because he believes, but because if he stops, the sleeper in the stones will wake. And it will pull them all down into the earth. The figure in the woods raises its candle higher, the black flame dancing. Marcus closes the church doors. Tomorrow night, he will sing again. And the night after that. And every night after. Forever.